Okay. So it's recording. So I just sent everyone an invitation. So everyone should get that in their emails probably just now. When you go to this website, it'll actually be called editor.osvwebsites.com. You'll see that when you create your password, but that'll be it instead of Radius Web Tools. When you log in, I'll start from the beginning. This is the screen that you will see when you log in. If you had multiple websites with us, you would be able to move back and forth by clicking on this Sites button. When you're logged in, you'll be able to see your email at the top right corner, be able to sign out, view any account settings. In this website, we actually have stats that start to populate as people start to view your website through the mobile, which is the tablet and cell phone, and the desktop view. So you'll be able to see that within the last 7 days, yesterday, last 30 days, as well as engagement. So how many have submitted forms, clicked to view the map on the actual website. So stats on the top right or on the left-hand side, this is more of a navigation. So as you click, it kind of drags it down. So as forms start to get bigger, it'll get longer. So it just moves it up for you. Forms, when you log in, you will be able to see form responses right here, as well as when you're actually editing the website, there is a place in the actual editor, but you also have a place one. So this is place one to view submissions. You'll be able to click on the actual individual submission, and then you'll be able to export it into a CSV file if you need that information to download. As you start to see submissions, you can also manage it. I can't really show you what that looks like, but you'll be able to see, I'm assuming it's deleting. If you need to edit anything, that will be where you would go. This will eventually change. Right now you're not published. Once you are, it'll be green. You'll have your website URL up here, but right now we just have a name for this website. When you log in, this is one of, I think, 3 or 4 places that you'll be able to send a link. So if I click on this preview button, it actually takes me to view the desktop, cell phone, and the tablet view. This link can also be copied and pasted. So let's say that Father Joe did not have access to the website, did not have a login. You can actually send this URL and he can just view the tablet and all 3 views. We'll give it a second to load. Might be my internet.
Happens sometimes.
There we go. Yeah, so here you'll see the desktop tablet. You can actually click on the individuals itself. Here's for the Apple or the Android. When you view all 3, a neat thing is you can actually click on this and it's separate. So if I click on Discover, it'll take me as well as the cell phone. So you can view all 3 views and what it looks like. So that you just copy and paste it if you need to share that with anyone that doesn't have access. And then we will click this edit button to start to edit the website. I'm going to use my login because until we publish the website, you will not have this red, it's going to disappear, but the top right corner, this button will be your publish button. In Radius,
yeah,
it is the green publish button. Until it is published, you will get to see that. So I want to be able to show you what that looks like. But you can still go in and make edits and it'll save. You just don't have that published because you're not published yet. Okay. But I want you to be able to see what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and edit it through my view. Any So after the training, we'll go over your website and what you want moved over. Any questions so far with the actual editor? So far?
No, so far so good. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch what you said about sharing the link for somebody who doesn't have access. But
That's fine. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's 3 or 4 different places I'm about to show you on the actual website. But when you log in, I can click on this home button right here. When you log in, it'll actually be the preview button, and I can show you that. So it's gonna look a little different for me because we manage all the websites. So you won't see this, but when you log in, you'll see the site overview, and you can click this preview button.
that I got, yeah.
And then we're gonna click the edit button to get into the editor. So as you can see here, the difference is between Radius is you cannot see what you're editing. You have this text box.
Right. Yeah.
In the new website, this is what your website actually looks like, and you're going to make changes to the website. I will go through everything, but just to start off with, on this website, it's a lot of clicking, dragging, and editing. So every image has a little pop-up where you can change the edits. So you'll be able to see that for buttons, for pictures. You'll have a little pop-up. So that is something to keep in mind. It's no longer right-clicking on Radius and adding images. You are clicking on the actual item itself on the website to make changes to it. So we'll go over that in just a second. I'm going to start off with the top bar, navigation bar. So quick, I can see here that Father Joseph is logged in. So that's one thing that is neat, is if anyone else is logged in, it'll let you know that. So at the top, there are 3 places on this website that you can navigate through pages. So in Radius, your pages, you're creating pages. Here, you can navigate at the top left. As you click, it'll take you to your pages. As well as on the actual website. So when you're editing, you can actually click on this website to take you to what you're wanting it to go to. So Our Faith, Parish Life. Let me make sure. Okay, Parish Life. I apologize. We might have some Wi-Fi issues over here. Bulletin. So you can navigate through here, as well as the on the left-hand side once it loads. On the left-hand side. So you'll see pages, and you can also click on the pages on the left-hand side. So at the very top, Our Faith, navigation bar, and on the left-hand side, pages. When you're editing for desktop, you can also view what is being shown for the tablet as well as the cell phone. Cool. Because the cell phone is so small, it shrinks it down. So as you can see, when you go to the home page, it is a lot different than the actual desktop. So for the tablet and the desktop, if you make changes on the tablet, it'll make it to the desktop as well. These two link together. Cell phone, let's say that you wanted to make this button smaller, and I'm going to exaggerate it. It will not do that for the tablet.
Okay.
It'll stay the same because it's not linked. So if you want to make changes to the cell phone to make it more sizable to the small screen, it'll stay for the cell phone.
Okay.
So that is the editors for each.
So does that mean that desktop editor also edits the tablet? Is it also
Yes.
vice versa? Okay.
Yes. Yep. So
Just the cell phone, that's separate. Okay.
so if you add a button, it'll add to all three, the tablet and the cell phone. But let's say the cell phone button that you added is way too big. You can size it to make it look good. But anything that you add will be added to all, but any changes or edits that you make specifically on the cell phone, it'll be left for just the cell phone.
Got it. So the changes for the cell phone are layout changes.
Yes.
Those are the ones that aren't linked. Okay.
Yep.
Whereas
Yep.
content goes to all three.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
The next button is the search the editor. This is if you wanted to search for articles, how to do something. If you click text, these are widgets that you can click on and it'll add it to the screen, or this little paper is an article to show you how to edit. But of course, you have our number and our email. So if this is not working for you, please contact us and we can definitely help you edit the website. But you have a little search engine here. This little icon tab, this is just information, site info. This will change once it's published. Here is the second place. So when you're logged in, you can click on that play preview button. Here's a second place where you can copy the link. You can copy it just for desktop or for the tablet and cell phone or for all. Here is the second place where you can view the statistics when you are in the editor mode. Clients, you cannot see this. We will add the clients for you. There are specific editor settings that we have to add. And then because of that, let's say a John emailed me to add a Chris. John is neither of you three, so we would need permission from those that have access to the website for safety purposes. So, for example, Father Joe would need to tell me if I need to add a Sarah to the website. Sarah can't tell me to do that. Let's say any of you spoke Spanish or French, you can actually change the language on this actual editor. So that is your little settings tab. And the next button is this little bubble. This little bubble on the right-hand side is this little pop-up. So as you can see, it goes away and comes. This is actually a communication for editors. So when you click on this little add comment, you can click anywhere on this website. And submit these comments and have a log. You'll see that number 1 pop up. So this is just between editors. You're able to view the comments that are being given with one another. You can delete them, you can add more. So it's just throughout. When you leave comments behind, you can click on them and it'll take you to it. So that is just a little neat tool to be able to communicate with one another when editing the website.
I'm sorry, can you say again where one gets into those comments?
This little bubble, ellipses with a bubble.
And I don't have the ellipses with the bubble. I guess that's a editor setting.
Yeah, are you in editor mode?
I got in. I did edit something already. So,
yeah.
So I assume I'm in editor mode, but I don't. All I see is the info one. I don't have
the show comments. Okay, let me see if I added that bubble, that button. I might have not given you that edit. So you see the icon and then the little check mark.
Yes, that's what I see.
Okay, I'll double check and make sure I did that correctly then. So I'll need to do that, but you'll have that available to you.
Okay.
Next is the, as you see, it's a check mark and it says all changes saved. So in Radius, I like to show this just to show the difference. In Radius, you either have to click Save as Draft. If you were to leave, it does not save. This website automatically saves the changes in real time. So if I were to make changes, it's just, you don't have to click to the church. So it's going to save and it's done. I never clicked this button. It's going to automatically save the changes as you make them for yourself. So the difference is you had to either save it or publish it to make it go live. Here, they're going to be saving the changes automatically for you. Until you are ready, you would click this red button to go live. So instead of the green publish button, it's going to be this red button.
Got it.
And then here's your undo or redo button. So I'm going to undo that change. I'm going to redo.
Awesome. Easy enough.
Yep. And then, for example, I'm on the home page and I have the capability of undoing and putting back welcome to the church. So if I were to go to newcomers, I can't click on it. So know that each time you go to a new page, it refreshes. So let's say I go back to the home page. Essentially, that is a third page I'm going to. It's refreshed and I can't go back.
Okay.
So that is just a, go ahead.
Once you change what you're editing, if you can only use the go back feature if you're on the same page.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
But of course, you can always go back and make and delete or anything like that. It just saves it and then it refreshes.
This is pretty user friendly, by the way.
Yeah.
I've used the Radius before. I mean, I was the one kind of making the updates. Is there a cell phone app for this too, for the editor?
Not an app, but it is mobile friendly. So if you were to log in through your cell phone,
Okay.
it would work.
One could do it that way. All right.
Yep.
All right. So like if I had footage or something that I wanted to load from my cell phone, I could just get into it that way.
Oh yeah, yeah. You could click on, I'll show you, instead of media to upload your content, it's going to be content, and you could always just go to content and start uploading things. So I'll show you that in just a second.
Okay, sounds good.
But yes, you can do that. The HTML and CSS and Radius, it was the source button. So if you ever need to check the source, that is this button right here.
Also something I don't have, but that could be one of those other things. Yeah. But
so that is available. That is available to you.
Awesome.
Oh, you said that that's a button you don't have?
That's also another button I don't have yet.
Okay.
I mean, I have my screen side by side because I'm on my Mac, but it should still show everything that's on there. And
right. Okay. Here is the third place.
The preview. Mm-hmm.
Where you can preview. So you can preview it yourself. You can still copy and paste this or just click copy link.
Cool.
And view each section. So I'm going to go back to editor. It'll take us back. And then of course the publish button, once we publish your website, it'll say republish and it'll forever say republish. So you'll always be clicking the republish button.
All right.
And then here is a help center if you ever want to. One thing that we want to note is if you ever get into a chat, that is not us. So just keep that in mind. They do have a universal support that you can always use as well. And then the home button, that'll take you to where you first logged in.
So I don't have the help. I have a question mark, and I think I don't have that either.
Okay.
I just have a question mark. Learn more about our platform is what it says. So.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll double check those settings. Interesting. Okay. So any questions with those buttons before I move on the left-hand side?
No, so far so good.
Okay. So this template that you chose has already defaults inputted. So a lot of a question that we got, I'm not sure if this was asked from you guys, but this all can be changed. Colors can be changed, fonts can be changed. So this is where you would do that.
Okay.
Global design, global text. The neat thing with this editor, it likes to make things easy for you. So this is header 1. The way I know that is when I click on this text box, I have header 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
So that is what the global text is. When you chose paragraph, this is the font, the font size, the text color, which can all be changed. And then here is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So when you add a text box, instead of having to find the font, find the text size that you want, you can always just use your 6 header settings that you have available. So there's 6, 5, it just gets a little bit bigger. Header 3 is typically used for a midsection. Let's see here. Title, so that'd be header 3. So you have those available and those can all be changed. Global button. So when you add a button, these are the settings for the button, which it can be changed. So the background color is none. When you hover over it, it is blue. As you can see, this button, when you hover over it, is white. So the settings for this specific button were changed. This is the settings for the global button. There is no color. And then when you hover over, it's blue. So that can be changed, but when you add a button, these are the settings, and you can change it as you see here.
Okay.
Images, when you add an image, it's just a square. You can change it to a little bit more round edges. You can change those settings, or a circle. Of course, if you were to change the settings for this picture, you can do that as well and make it more circular if you need to and round the edges.
And that can apply both globally and individually?
Right. Next is the global rows. So the rows background is set to white. We recommend that you just keep it white because you can change the colors. This is a row. So when you're adding content into a row, it's just going to be left white. As you can see, this one has been added a little light blue color. This row has added a picture to it. So you're more than welcome to change it, but you can change the default colors for when you add a row, it'll be that color.
Okay.
Site background, you can change the colors for what's in the whole background for the page. So you can do background for all pages, for the home page, newcomers, Our Faith, Parish Life, or a specific page. So registration, you can change the colors for the background.
Neat.
Site layout, you can choose the top header bar, which is what you're already using or you have between the side menu or the expandable for the desktop. Here are your 2 options for the tablet, and here are your 2 options for the cell phone. So that is what you can choose. So that is the global design. We don't touch that. That is what we leave for you to change if you need to change anything.
Great.
Next is pages. So when adding a page, the neat thing with this is you're making changes to the actual website. So let's say I want the home page all the way to the right. Let's just do that. So I'm going to click, hold, and drag. As you can see here, the little gray underneath it, as I moved it to the bottom of the list, it moves it automatically to the end of the row. If I want to move the home page, as you can see here, we have submenus, and then you can go up to a third. So
Okay.
with that, how you do that is you click hold and you're going to drag it in a little bit towards the right, and you can see where it makes that little indent.
Oh yeah.
But because it's a home, I'm going to use a different one because this is set as the home, and I'll show you that in just a second. So let's say our giving, we'll do giving because it's separate. So I'm going to go giving, and I want it under parish life. Now giving's gone and it's under parish life. If I wanted it to go underneath calendar, click, hold, and drag a little bit towards the right. Parish life, now it is under calendar giving. So we're going to take that out. I'm going to move it a little bit more towards the left, and I can see that it's on its own, and then it's back on the navigation.
Cool.
Each page has its own settings, as you can see. The home, this is set as the home page. The way that was done is settings, set as home page. So we set the home page as that. You can rename each page. You can hide and show in navigation. So what this means is you might create a page that is full of content, but you just want it to be included in the Discover button. So you want this button to go to Parish Life. You don't want it to be on your menu. You can hide that from your navigation, hide from all. So it's hidden, but it's still there. And you'll see this little, I'm going to zoom in so that you can see. It's a little desktop, cell phone, and tablet. So when you're showing on the desktop, it removes it to it's the tablet, and cell phone, that's just the cell phone. So it removes this page from the cell phone. If I want to hide from all or show, it'll pop back up. So there's Parish Life again. And then now I'll add a page. So blank page and page URL are going to be the two common pages, most common that you'll use. Blank page, I'm going to add a test page because I'm going to show you widgets after pages. So I'm going to add a test page. When you add a page, it's going to take it to the bottom and add it to your menu. So if you don't want to see it, you can hide it from all. I'm just going to go ahead and hide it from all. We don't see the test page. Next is page URL. This one, let's say you had online giving. You can copy and paste your online giving URL and it'll take them to the online giving. So if they click on it, it'll take them to an external link. Next is our services. These next 5 are all templates. So you have templates because of the template you chose. But you're more than welcome to use these. So our services is typically used for an about page. Contact us is used for a contact page. Portfolio, project page, and landing page. These 3 are used for home pages templates. So, but you can use them for whatever you would like to. Lastly, a folder page. When you go to your website, let's see if, so when I click on the about page, this is essentially considered a folder page. You cannot click on the about page. On this website, unless you create a folder page, I can click on the about page here. So that is the difference. When you add a folder page, it essentially creates a page that can't be clicked on, like your website right now. So the about page can't be clicked on. I can click it on here. But if I want to create a folder page, the about section cannot be clicked on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's the difference between creating a menu item that actually has its own page or if it's just a menu item.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
so it's just a menu directory. Okay.
Yep. And let's see here. And then these are more for realist. You're more than welcome to use whatever. These are templates as well. So
Awesome.
And then we'll do pop-up as we move along. So in Radius, You can create pop-ups for announcements. The neat thing with this new website is you can do the pop-up at the top of the website, but now you can also create, when you go to a website and it pops up like enter your email for a 10% discount. Those pop-ups you can create, and a lot of churches like to use these for like if mass is canceled, if they go to your yep, weather announcements, they just pop up automatically. So we'll show you that because pop-ups is more involved with personalize. So
Okay.
pop-ups and personalize, we'll get to that.
Alrighty. This is good because we're having contingency plans for heat waves and so if we have a heat wave, we don't have air conditioning in New Hampshire. So if we need to move mass to our gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So we're going to start with the widgets. Bear with me. I'm going to show you the widgets. So as you start to create and add widgets, you'll have your frequently used and your most popular. So these will start to populate for as you edit. So we will go through the basics. Media, there's business, which I won't go through all of them because I don't think you have a restaurant menu, but you're more than welcome to use it. Social, and then advanced. So there's HTML if you would like to create anything on your own.
Awesome.
So basics, as you can see here, as we go through these, it makes it easy for you. So this is a text, and then I'm going to show you title 1. This is header 1 and header 3. So essentially, when you drag it, it already has the settings for your header 1, settings for header 3. So let's say I drag this text. It's going to hover over a blue insert here. So this means that I am in a row. If I go down and it extends it, this is inserting a new row. I'm going to go ahead and add a text. As you can see here, paragraph, you can still choose header 1, but you can always use the widget that's ready for you for a title. And then header 3 as well. So that is in between there. And as you saw, did you see how it kind of divided it in half for me?
Yes.
So that is a column. So what a column does in a row is it divides it evenly for you. So here I have one column. So essentially I'm adding all my text into this one column. So if I right click on this row, I can see all the settings for a row.
Okay.
When I add a column, it's going to divide it for me.
Neat.
You can go up to 4. So what that does is it just evenly divides things for you. If you needed to move it, now it does so for you. Widgets, like I said, they're there to be helpful. You can do that as well. 1, 2, 3, or 4 columns. So this is essentially adding a new row with 4 columns instead of having to right click.
Cool.
Instead of having to right click. So I can also right click and add a row below if you want to as well. There's an empty column. Next is a button. I'm going to drag this button into my 4th column over here. A button, the difference between this button is, as you can see, you can link it to a whole bunch of different things. So as widgets try to be helpful, this is also a button, but it's just for a file. So it's ready for you to just insert a file. So it says download file, and it's ready for you to upload your file and have it available. You can do that too, but when you click new button, it'll have, you can link it to an existing page. So if they click on it, it'll take them back to the home page. You can click and enter in a URL, a pop-up. So if you create a pop-up, if they click on it, it'll have that pop-up. Anchor, an anchor Let's say that you wanted to anchor this section. So you're going to right click and you are going to anchor it. You can have them click on it and it'll take them to that anchor email address. Type in the email on their cell phone. When they click on the button, it'll open up email for them as well as calling. And then here at the bottom is the file for download, which is the same thing for download file button. But of course, you can also do that for the button as well, file for download. So those are buttons. In the buttons, as you can see here, your content, one thing to keep in mind is content is what is being shown, what you are typing in, what you are doing with the button. Design, of course, is what it looks like. So like I said, your settings, but here you can always change what is being shown for this button. You can change the width for it, the height, the text. You can let it hover over and it's a floating button. So
very user friendly.
if you need to remove anything, just click on that red X as well. You can right click and delete, or just click the red X.
Awesome.
Red X. As you see here. Next is a divider. If you wanted to divide and make things look a little better, you can divide your content. So that's just a divider, different designs for you to use with divider. Space. So let's add, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple things for us so that I can show you. I have a row. Let's say that I added a paragraph. And let's say that this new title is way too close to my footer. In the website itself, each row has its spacing. So in Radius, you would have to right click and you would have to click on the image properties, guesstimate the width and the height. Here in spacing, you have every picture, every row has a spacing settings. So what that does is inside the text box, you can add space. So as you can see here, it's getting bigger and it's getting bigger down below. From the left side, you can move the text in a little bit. So let's say my footer, I want it outside of the text. This will create space between pages, so between content. So if your content is way too close together and you want to create some space, that is what spacing does. So that is the next widget that I wanted to that I'm going to show you is spacing. So a spacer, if you just insert it, all it does is just create some space as well. So you can either choose the spacer widget or the space in between each row. We're going to get into a couple of items that allow you to display content neatly for you already. So I'm going to insert a list. Typically, a list is used for, and I'm going to move this out of the footer. I am in the footer. Typically, this is used for the bulletin. Some churches like to use this for the bulletin. Some churches use this for staff members. The neat thing with this is it's already ready for you to go. It evenly divides the pictures. It has divider for you. You do not have to have an image. You don't have to have a button or a link. You can have a button to where they can click on the bulletin. So let's just say we're going to have none for each, and then we're going to build our list. You can always go back and change those elements. And then you can start to remove, you can start to add, and then you can edit as well. Design, there are two designs for this. A church used this for their directory to display the picture of their parishioners, the family's name, and their contact information. So that is a list widget. Next, we did the 1, 2, 3, 4 columns countdown. This is used, it can be used for anything. Schools like to use this for the last day of school, or Christmas time, or Easter, just a countdown. Styles, size, spaces in between, background color, corners, make it more circular. So that is countdown. Table. This is a neat way if you need to insert information. So you can upload a CSV file, and it'll enter in the information for you. If you need to remove, as you can see here, as I start to remove, it's going to delete the content, and then the row is gone. If you need to add, you can add, and it'll add those rows for you. Header color, the template, these are the colors that came with the template, so those are ready for you to use. Border, if you wanted to create a border and have the list a little bit different than just a table. So that is a table. Text and image, so instead of having to drag out image and drag out text, they already have text and image combined for you to add an image and then add the text. And then you can link this as well to anything. So if they click on it, they can go to where you need it to go to. Replace. So here's when you replace, you can upload images. We also have images available on this website that you can use. Design, width of the picture, height, as in the text, if you want the text up top. Border, I'm going to exaggerate it. So there's an image border, and then there is a frame border. So it's the outside, and then if you wanted to frame the image. Next is copyright. If you have a picture you need a copyright, it's just ready for you to enter in the copyright information with this copyright symbol. Next, I believe is accordion. This one is neat, just a nice way to display content. You can add more. It's a drop down menu, so if they click on it, it drops it down so they can see information. Show first item expanded, only one item expanded at a time. So if you remove that, they can click and expand multiple at the same time. The accordion has 5 different options for you to choose from of what you want it to look like. Style, text, description, colors, all above is available. That's the accordion, which I believe is on your home page. It's typically used for upcoming events. Tabs, another way to show information. Just nice and neatly, you can add tabs. You don't have to show an image. When you are in the tab section, there's the title. It's already there for header 4. You can change that as well. What you want to link, if you want it to show the button or not. And then designs, this does have a couple other designs for you to use. So just a neat way to also be able to show show content. You don't have to.
Lisa, if I just could comment real quick, I think this is going to be very helpful, this particular design, because we will typically have like a bunch of flyers and stuff right now on our website. That's what we have. Like we'll have a bunch of flyers for different events. And so having those tabs or the accordion is going to be great for that.
Yes,
It won't clog up the space, but it still gives people access.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Awesome. So if you wanted to add an image, you can go ahead and add an image. Let's say we wanted to just use this one real quickly. It's going to show the whole image. So here we go into design and we can change the width of the image, make it a lot smaller. Here, like I said, you can change it to circular, border, zoom out, forward. So all different neat things. Spacing, remember spacing, you can move this within, so that is within, make it even smaller, or outside. So if you needed to move this image a little bit more in, you can do that as well. Slider, so this is a slideshow. In the slideshow, you can add, of course, as many images as you want. Design, you have 3 different designs. So a lot of churches don't like to have text. They just like to show pictures of certain events. You can change the speed of it. If they hover over it, it'll pause. You can make it small, big. You want it to be the full width. You want to display the full image. So what that does, it'll have a little gray area for you to be able to show the full image. Slideshow. And then next is photo gallery. This footer at the bottom is actually a photo gallery. So photo gallery is a different way to display images. So it starts off with having buttons hover over it and you can have text. This one, as you can see, that does not do that. So by doing that is you can go in and actually unsee that. So that is now gone. It's still here for these, but I removed that from not seeing the text. Here you can all different sorts of ways to display. Some churches like to use this for staff and put images of staff members in their little bubble, but all different ways to display fun images. You can gray it out and have the text above, below, in the image itself. So just another neat way to display. You can add, as you start to add, it shapes it for you. So
question on to so is it the kind of thing where you can have it linked to something if you put a URL on it?
Yes, each picture can have its own link too. So here you would go to button and then you can link.
Perfect. Great.
So each picture. Yep.
Awesome. Neat.
Pretty much anything can be linked to anything. Next is icon and shape. So icon and shape are the exact same thing. Hopefully you can see the difference. Icon, you can choose symbols or settings or tool maybe. So different ways to have an icon. Shape, all that is shapes. So if you wanted a shape for a button, that's essentially what you're doing, is just linking a shape, just shapes, and linking it to a button. So, or an icon, which this is used on the home page. If you recall, these are icons. Next is
video.
Video. Yep. So video, just upload copy and paste the link from YouTube, and then you have these other two options that you can use. I think you can't upload your own videos. There's not much space to it. It's 200 megabytes.
Okay.
So we recommend, if you upload it to YouTube, you'll be able to just create your link and then upload it. Design, you can make it very small, very big. So. Before and after, all this is adding a picture on the left side, picture on the right side. Schools like to use this for the first day picture, last day of school. Some churches actually have renovations going on, so a before and after picture of their church renovations. Audio, do you have podcasts?
No.
Okay. If you end up wanting to use podcasts, this is what you could use. You would either use SoundCloud or Mixcloud. They both have links that you just copy and paste, and it just allows you to play.
If we
Biz,
want to highlight somebody else's podcasts, we can do that too.
yeah.
Awesome.
Click to call. This is a button, and it's just to enter in the phone number. So you have that also available for button. You just enter in that phone number, but click to call is just a button ready for you to type in the phone number. Map, this should be on your about page. Maybe not this template. There we go. Map, you can choose all the different designs as in how you want it to look. So there's a pink map, black map, kind of a X-ray kind of looking one. So that is map widget. Then there is email. So that is just adding in for them to be able to type up an email. Contact form, I'll show you that one in just a second. Pretty much calendar. Do you guys use calendar in our radius?
We have a calendar app that we're
Okay.
using, so we'd have to import it. But you did say it's a Google Calendar, so that's something we can discuss.
Yes.
About actually using using our Google Calendar and linking it to. It might make it easier, and I don't know if we are paying. Kristen could probably answer that. If we're paying currently for the calendar, if we switched over to the Google Calendar, we might be able to do that instead.
Yeah, and this would be free, of course, because so the neat thing with Google Calendar is and if you need help, let me know, but you can create multiple calendars. Like if you use your personal Gmail account, you can create a separate calendar for your church, and then you would just click the calendar for the name that you created for it. And
Sure.
then as you edit or add events, it just automatically adds it on the website for you. So that is Google. It would just be dragging it in and logging into Google.
So I'm just getting messages from Kristen. She says, "Yeah, we do pay for my church events, that calendar that we're currently using." But
yeah,
we can talk about getting rid of that and switching over if that's what we want to do. Because right now, training staff on one thing versus another, there are costs and benefits to each.
Right. Yep. This is here for you to use. So if you want to use that, go ahead.
Yeah.
Contact form. So here is form. You can create and use forms. Here you'll see submission. So here's the second place. I'll show you the third place. It's on the left-hand side. But here, submissions, tracking. You can, let's see here. Where's tracking? I want to show you. You can add more items to it. Fields. So if it's a big form, a couple other organizations use these. I'm not really familiar with these three, but you can integrate it. So submission responses, you can type in the email that the response should go to. Actions, thank you, messages. So creating a form. I believe you have one on your contact us. So the form itself, as you saw, you can click and look at the submissions. And I can show you where the third place is for that. Any questions? Social, pretty much it's logging into Facebook. You can use any of these Facebook comments to show your comments. Zoom meeting, it's and them being able to type in from your website, like their name, and then log into the Zoom meeting from there. Just easy ways to access things.
That's awesome, because that would be perfect for our Bible studies, which we've been doing on Zoom.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Neat.
I'm gonna refresh.
I'm excited. I'm jazzed.
Awesome. Next is content. So in content, you see here the Our Sunday Visitor logo. Obviously, that can be changed. When you click on it, it'll say you can go to Content Library to change that, or you can change it there itself. So content, this is another place that I would suggest going into and changing. So here you can replace your logo, change the address, your phone number, the email that you would want to be contacted with. At the very bottom of your footer, that is also changes as you make those changes. So you can do that as well. These are more, I believe, for search engines. So if they were to search for your organization, maybe on Google, you're more than welcome to, like the About Us, when they Google, I believe this is what this is used for. Not a lot of churches have really wanted to try it out. So if you're wanting to try it out, and let me know if that actually does it for you. Site content, this is the place where you will upload images. This is where you can manage your images. So in Radius, it's media, it's content, site content, and it actually keeps it separate for you.
Cool.
So manage images, you'll see all your images. Here we have free images available for you. You can upload in bulk. You can delete files. You can also upload your files. Here is the third place where you can manage your form submissions. So when forms are being submitted, here you'll be able to see responses. So next is personalize. So here's the pop-up. So the difference with pop-ups, when you go to pages and you create a new pop-up, essentially you're just choosing your template and it's just a pop-up. With personalize, you create actions for it and triggers. So all of these, I haven't used all of them. You are more than welcome to test them out, but I'll show you the build your own. Build your own, you can trigger it. So whether it's a device or a location or a time. So I know some like to want to make sure the time is available. So you would do time. And then you would click next, which I think my screen. Let's try that again. Am I full screen? Oh, that's why. Okay, next. Oh, so in the, go back. So here we selected time. Next, here you can choose the time frame. So if it's Sunday all day because it's happening that Sunday, or you want to change the end date to a full week, it's a trigger right there for you. It'll then be taken off once it expires. So a new row is underneath your your header, you'll have a new row created right underneath it. Notification bar, that's at the very top of your website, kind of like this, but it'll be at the top of the website. And then pop-up, that's what I'm going to show you is the pop-up. So the pop-up, it'll create an empty square. And as you can see here, left-hand side, you can still click on widgets because you can add images, you can add a button. So you can type in here, mass is being held in the gym, or however you'd like to. You can close this out. Pop-up settings, change the colors, make it bigger. And then when you are done, you can save the rule. Remember that we created this rule, but you haven't clicked technically publish yet. So until you click publish, it'll go live. So just remember that. And then we can go ahead and preview. So if they go on your website, it'll gray it out and it'll have this pop up for them that they'll have to close out. So just a neat way to create some pop-ups. So as you can see here, here you can delete, you can edit the trigger, edit the action, you can deactivate it. We set a deadline for it, so it'll deactivate itself. So the difference is pop-ups, here you can see the one we just created, but as I said, you can't edit anything here. You're just creating a pop-up. So when you create a pop-up, let's do a welcome, add pop-up. I didn't create any triggers. You can go ahead and click personalize, but it's technically reversed as you can see here. So you created the pop-up, you can change the rules. With the personalize, you're creating the rules, you're making sure it's good to go, and then you're gonna design it. So those are the differences between the pop-ups, but they do correlate with one another. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. And I'm gonna delete this one because if we were to publish your website, it will show up. We don't want that. Questions?
Yes, just simply the fact that as I went to personalize, it's not like I wasn't able to do, I wasn't able to make my own things in that regard. So it might be, it's just another limitation as to what's been given this for the user right now. So.
You don't see personalize either?
No, I get personalized. I wonder if it was the fact that it was a pop-up. Huh. Oh, I think I have it now. I was attempting to do to mimic what you were doing, but
Gotcha.
It wouldn't allow that. So
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's all I'm trying to say. Okay.
Okay, good. You won't see e-commerce or the App Store, but you will see blog.
Yep.
Blog is available for you to use. Some churches have blogs. I would think of it kind of as like maybe a newsletter you can create. So it's a neat way to make posts. You can title it. Let me show you if I can create one. So essentially what a blog is, it's a title, they can look at it on Facebook, you can add content, and it keeps it stored for you in blog. So this is available for you to use. I only have had one church so far that actually use blogs, but it's here for you and it's added, it's free. You're more than welcome to use any of these settings if you have any questions. We pretty much take care of your site URL, CEO. One thing that I do want to show you is the backup site. So in Radius, if you were to delete a page, unfortunately, it's gone. Here, with this new website, every time you click the button republish, it saves what you had what you just had. So let's say your website was good to go yesterday, it was just fine. Today we made some edits and it's actually not what we wanted. So you can restore what the website was from yesterday.
Great.
So that's a neat little tool that this website has for you. Any questions?
Again, it all seems very user-friendly.
Yeah, yeah. So let me delete the test page. So next we'll really be discussing your website. Obviously, let's see if I can go back. So your website.
Unless somebody else has a Mac.
Your website.
Oh no, that's
So, so do you know if we have interns and they are are focusing on moving everything over for our churches. So, do you know if everything on here is ready for us to just go ahead and move everything for you?
That's a great question. I think the majority is ready, but there are certain things that obviously can be done away with.
Okay.
Like under parish life, we have this thing about the Archbishop Damiano chalice that was like last year. I don't think anybody's really looking at that anymore.
Okay.
So
Right here.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was one thing I was thinking about having removed. I think as well there might be something about
So essentially, do not add this whole page. We can just
yeah.
not add it. Okay, I'll write that down.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think there was one other thing too about I forget where it's at. It's we were advertising some prints of the St. Columba. I might have gone ahead and got rid of that. It may not be showing basically. But I thought that was about the only two I could think of that would immediately come to mind about things that aren't needed anymore.
Okay. Do you know if everything on your homepage, all of these images?
Well, for the home page, I know that let's see here. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Let me go back to the home page. There we go. We can get rid of, since you guys allow us to put our Facebook feed, we can get rid of the widget that we've got there. And I could always go into Radius and undo that if you wanted, or if you guys are doing that already, that's great too. So we can get rid of that feed because we can just link the feed through your platform already.
Is this the Facebook feed?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It says powered by curator.io.
Gotcha.
We weren't sure how to do it any other way. And right now we just have the free version anyway. So we were paying and then we realized that we weren't getting the traffic to really warrant that. So
Right.
the healing mass that can go because of the fact that we have to set up the schedule for next year. Faith formation, I believe, can go. The middle school ministry, I believe, can go for now, right? And Kristen, if you can hear me, if I'm saying anything wrong, just text me or put in the chat there. The windows of St. Thomas Aquinas, now the healing resources can be put, I had something there. She says yes, meaning that can go. Healing resources was just a link to one of the pages because I had mentioned to folks, hey, we're going to have this kind of a thing. So that can go too. And it's just some of the things that can go. The windows of St. Thomas Aquinas, Catholic Church, that could go under About Us as opposed to being there. That's literally a link to a document. So
okay.
It was just easy for people to get to.
Okay. So just put it in the About Us page?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
that leaves a lot more room for other things. Like we've got the mass and prayer schedule. Obviously, we want to have that That's on our sidebar. I'm not sure if you see that, the sidebar. If you scroll up there, Louisa, you'll see our sidebar. It says Alpha got questions, the Mass, faith formation.
Oh, yes, yes.
Sacrament of Reconciliation, baptism, upcoming
Yes.
events. That's our widget for our calendar. It can go over for now until we figure out what we're doing.
Okay.
And then we have the diocesan calendar as well.
Yep.
And then our Amazon Smile.
Yep.
That may not need to go on the front page. So, and then we just have a couple links. One, the Diocese of Manchester and our
Yep.
Franciscan Vocation Office.
Okay.
So.
Okay. We share. Yeah, we'll link that to the giving.
Right, and then of course how to report abuse. That's got to be on there. So,
Yes. Okay.
I guess we can get rid of the school link because our school shut down. So I just never thought to get rid of it. It says
This one. Okay.
Yeah, St. Thomas Aquinas School. Yeah. Oh, it just links to the news. Actually, I think that was. I think we were leaving that on there because we were getting so many inquiries as to whether the school was still open. So I think that was our way of handling that, so that people wouldn't be asking all the time.
So would you like me to leave it there?
It's been 2 years. I don't think we need it anymore, unless Father Joe thinks that we do. I'm looking over at you there and through the windows there, Father Joe. Can you hear me? You think it can go? All right, he's giving me the thumbs up. It can go.
Awesome. Okay. And then, so what we do is we will add all your content. But for example, this image, if you have one ready to send me, you can, but we'll leave it as is.
Okay.
And we'll leave that up to your discretion of what you want to add to it.
Sure. I think one of the things that I found impressive about other websites that I visited is when they have like the homepage and they have some kind of a small video. So I was thinking about running that by Father Joe too, in terms of like having a small video, maybe of him celebrating, Mass being celebrated somehow. Like we have a new system for uploading our Mass to. I don't know if you noticed on the website we've got a live stream there.
Yes.
Homepage. Yeah. So so what I was thinking was finding some of that video, clipping it, and then loading it up to there for the welcome. So we see a living community.
Yeah, that would be, a video could be attached. Yeah. Do you know, for the bulletin, should we leave that page blank?
The bulletin should work. That link should work. What's going on? Request could not be satisfied. What's going on? Huh. Somewhere else, I think there is parish life. Yeah, I don't know if it's because we were supposed to have the bulletin in already. I don't know if that's a recent thing, like because we're supposed to have the bulletin in. They're supposed to be able to load that up. So
Okay.
it normally would go straight to the page, but it would go straight to the current page. So
Okay.
I think like the current bulletin. So I think that's why that's not responding to us right now, because the bulletin hasn't been published yet, and I think the old one has been taken down. But no one has complained to me yet that the bulletin's not up on the website. So either they're not complaining anymore, or yeah. Or it's just the fact that we have an extension on the bulletin for there to be a specific article to be implemented.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we can. I took those notes. And then I will let you know when the content is being done. But once we've moved everything, look it over, and if there's anything that we missed, let me know. We can definitely fix that.
Are you able to migrate our current media?
So we do not, unless we migrate everything in the website that's currently being used. So whatever's in these pages, we move, unless you tell us what you
So
need moved.
what I meant by that is there's media specifically saved to Radius right now that is utilized on the website.
Like this image?
Like all those images, right?
Okay.
Maybe not all of them, but some of them are definitely used. So how does that work?
So for example, I know that this image is your logo, so our intern would most likely put that in the logo.
That's exactly what I was hoping for.
Yes.
All right. Whatever. So
These images, he'd probably add those and link them to the links already that's being used.
Great.
For example, these as well, this image as well, and link it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Any way to well, I can go in and I can do that. I can download our media from our media folder in the in in the login there, because that's still going to work, correct, for now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. The Radius as if nothing is happening right now. Continue to use Radius as if we are not doing this. So it's still available.
Right, until you save.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So basically, what I can do is I can just download all that data from the website.
Correct.
Radius. Okay. Excellent.
Yes, you can do that. And then is there anything else? I'm gonna look at the settings real quickly for see what I did wrong. Any other questions?
No, so far so good.
Okay. So I'm gonna see if I can fix those settings. And then edit permissions. So I add edit sidecar. Okay, yeah, I did not add the comments. And then it was let me save that. Awesome. Okay. Let me know if there's anything else. I added the comments. And then I will get in contact when the content is then being migrated.
Ah, there's the comments. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
I just refreshed the page. Nice. Okay. That's awesome. And so the rest is basically us figuring out once you guys have done the initial transfer, then we figure out how we want to tweak it.
Yes. One thing, let's see. I think, are you using our webmail?
No, we're using
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so we don't have to worry about this.
Yep.
And then, so that's good. That was a whole other process. And then, yeah, once we're ready to publish, we will give you the coordinates, because it looks like you self-manage your domain. So we will give you those records to give to the company that manages your domain, and then we'll be good. It'll start to go to the new website.
Awesome. Okay.
Awesome. I will stop this recording, and then I will